Welcome to the Small Talk podcast with the Small Real Estate team. Today's guest is Mike Gorbe, who drives the Magic Shuttle Bus for in Traverse City. Thanks for joining us today, Mike. It's really good to learn about your business, a little bit more about your background. Tell us about the Magic Bus and how it operates.
It's my pleasure to be here, Mike. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today. So thank you so much. Magic Shuttle Bus is one of Northern Michigan's biggest wine tour companies, for transportation. We do bachelorette parties, wedding shuttles. It is one of the biggest in Northern Michigan, and we also have buses running around Grand Rapids.
Really? Okay. Is it a similar type thing here in the Grand Rapids area where you tour wineries and stuff like that?
Well, in the Grand Rapids area, as you know, it's more breweries.
Okay.
The breweries, so they do more brew tours, whereas in Traverse City, we do more wine tours.
Awesome.
We have about 45 wineries up here. So,
how many breweries do you hit in an average bus tour?
Well, I do the Old Mission Peninsula public wine tour typically, and we do a 5-hour 4-winery tour.
Okay.
And it is also, just so everyone knows, our Old Mission Peninsula tour has been judged by TripAdvisor as top 10 a wine tour and beverage experience in North America. So we're really happy with that. Yes.
That's an amazing accomplishment. So how long have you been doing it?
I've been with Magic Shuttle coming up on 4 years.
Okay. And I guess what are some of the popular wineries and the favorite stops up there? Somebody's not familiar with Traverse City.
I am actually coming at you live from one of the premier wineries in Traverse City on Old Mission Peninsula. I'm at Hawthorne Vineyards right now, and that is one of my favorites. It's my first stop on my tour every day on my wine tour, and then from here. The rest of my wineries that I go to Bowers Harbor Vineyards, and then over to Chateau Chantal in Bryce Estates, and finishing at Bonobo. So those are the 5 wineries. We usually do 4 wineries per tour, but those are the wineries we go to on my public tour. But there are other wineries in the area. Other great winemakers, other great vineyards. Chateau Grand Traverse is out here on Old Mission Peninsula. Two Lads, Mari, Black Star Farms has a tasting room. Make sure I got everybody here. Peninsula Cellars. So there is a lot of wineries out on Old Mission Peninsula. And then, we're not even talking about Leelanau Peninsula. There's 30 more out there. And then there's some east of town as well. So it's a big business. The wine industry up here is huge. If you're a wine enthusiast or if you're just looking for something fun to do, Traverse City is an excellent destination. And I think the wine tours are one of the funnest things to do in Traverse City. If you haven't gone on one, it's easy. All your viewers need to do is really just go to TripAdvisor.
Okay. Search
Magic Shuttle Bus. And you can get on one of our public tours. It can only be, 1, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, whatever. You don't have to rent the whole bus. And that's the beauty of our public tours.
You just can imagine that's like a good way to meet other people too and network and
definitely
get to know people kind of. Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, if you have a bachelorette party, you can also go to magicshuttlebus.com and do a private reservation for like a wedding shuttle or a bachelorette party, or if you wanted a private wine tour with a big corporate group or a big group of family or friends. So there's a lot of different ways that, we can help you up here. Get some wine, enjoy the beautiful views, and have fun in Traverse City.
Awesome. How long do these tours typically go? You start at like what time in the morning? When would you end?
Our public tour starts on the weekdays and Sundays at noon, and we all meet at Civic Center Park, which is near the Civic Center Ice Arena, and we go right on Old Mission Peninsula from there. On Saturdays, we start the tour an hour early at 11, but that is a 5-hour tour, and it's 4 wineries on that tour. A lot of people show up to the park and they're like, what are we going to do for 5 hours? But man, I'll tell you, you get in your wine time machine and time flies right by.
I imagine, yeah, especially when you start having fun and meeting new people and checking out different wineries. What makes the different wineries special? Like, what are some of the like main things that people get excited about when going into the different wineries that are on your tour?
Well, up here, the soil content's a lot different from different regions. So a lot of the things that people and guests might not like from other regions, they like here. The soil content's a lot of sand. It's the way the glaciers dump the soil in this area. We have really good climate for a lot of different grapes. So, people might not like, for example, Chardonnay from other regions, and they come here and they really like ours. We do Pinot Grigio real well. We do Gewürztraminer real well. A lot of the grapes in this region, people just are blown away, and they just don't realize we are on par with some of the other winemaking regions, Napa, Sonoma. It is the wine country of the Midwest.
Is it something to do with its position on the globe? I've heard that before.
Well, it's a little bit of everything. It's a perfect storm of positioning, climate, soil is a big thing.
Sure.
So we excel in white wines. The white wines really do well in this area, and we do a great job in reds as well. But the soil content is the major difference, and what puts us. I challenge a lot of people that come here on the tour, and they say, "Hey, we just left Sonoma, we just left Napa," and by the end of the tour, they are loving our region and they're coming back.
Yeah. Cherries. Traverse City is also known for its cherries. Is there anything made with cherries up there?
Oh yeah, we do. There's a lot of the wineries do a lot of cherry ciders and cherry wines.
Okay.
Cherry ciders are very popular up here. So yeah,
Nice.
there's a lot of cherries. There's a lot of apples, and it's also, in addition to wines, is a huge area for ciders.
Okay.
So if you're a leader fan, you're in luck.
So I'm sure there's different options to choose as far as, when you're going up there to go on a wine tour. What sets Magic or the Magic Shuttle Bus apart from the other options that people might have? Like, why should somebody go with you guys?
Well, there's a lot of different reasons. Our drivers are more, I think, interactive.
Okay.
You can just look at the reviews. We have 1,600, I think, 5-star reviews on Google.
That's
and then
impressive.
About 1,100 on TripAdvisor. So the reviews, they speak for themselves. And I think that, people have a lot of fun with us. Our drivers are into wine. We're wine drinkers. We're wine enthusiasts. A lot of us are members of the wine clubs at the different wineries. So we're not only talking the talk, we're actually wine drinkers as well. Of course, not while we're on the tour, but
no, yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely we're into the area. I don't know if the other companies have that going for them. I really don't know, but there is something going on because we have the most repeat customers. We are the most popular. We're the biggest up here. We have the most positive 5-star reviews, and I think one of the major reasons is a lot of our people are passionate about wine.
Yeah, that's really says something about your company. Reviews are super important, and I know, especially when I want to have a good experience, I want to make sure that other people have had a good experience doing something similar, and that reviews are super important. So I'm glad you have taken advantage of that. So, what are some of the other favorite spots to visit for people coming to Traverse City? Maybe somebody that hasn't been there before.
Well, a lot of people don't know that you can go over to Leelanau County on M22 and go up around the whole county. That is an excellent day road trip, and there's a lot of different wineries out there. Leelanau County is an awesome place. You'll never find a fast food restaurant in the whole county. It's all mom and pop shops, and there's about 30 wineries out there. Really good restaurants. Excellent views. Leelanau County is definitely one place to visit. Downtown Traverse City, a lot of different restaurants. And if you have an extra day, you can go over to Torch Lake.
Torch Lake is beautiful. Yeah.
Torch Lake, yeah, it's beautiful there. So there's so much to do in this area. A lot of people come here for the weekend and they're like, wow, we just don't have enough time to go see everything. And that's definitely true. This is a big county. People don't really realize how big it is, but Traverse City is really taken off. And the wine business is one of the industries that has really taken off. The restaurants, the breweries. It's just really a great destination if you have like a week vacation or even just a weekend getaway. You can have a lot of fun.
Okay. How long have you lived in Traverse City?
I've been here about I'm coming up on 5 years, and my only regret is not moving here sooner.
Really? Okay. How's it changed in the last 5 years?
Well, it just keeps getting. There's more things to do. There's in my industry, there's more wineries, there's more destinations. The wine tour business is getting more popular. I think that was one of the unintended benefits for this area during COVID. You can't get on a plane. Where do you go? You could drive to Traverse City.
Explore your hometown, right? Yeah.
A lot of people had never been here came up to try it, and they're like, wow, we could just go drive 3-4 hours and be in Traverse City.
So Traverse City, about maybe an hour from 2 hours from Grand Rapids?
Yeah, it's about 2-3 hours, depending on how many stops. A lot of people like to make the traditional stop at Culver's and for the road trip, or maybe, a couple different stops.
Yeah,
so it depends on how you drive.
Okay. So if somebody was thinking about moving to Traverse City, how would you sell it to them?
Well, it kind of sells itself, Mike.
Okay. Fair enough.
You come up here and you hang out for a couple weekends. That's what happened to me. The hooks just got in me and I didn't want to leave. It's a great town. I have little kids, so they're living the dream up here up north. But if you're looking for a town that has a lot to do, a lot to offer without the big city hustle bustle, because I'm from the Detroit area.
Okay.
I love it. You think about it, our closest freeway is 30 miles away. We just don't have the hustle bustle that the big cities have. We have
a lot of through traffic,
like the big cities, just not all the people coming and going. And I love it. It's so relaxing. The stress levels are down for me, but it's not for everyone, of course. But if you like living in up north, this is by far is one of the better. I think one of the best choices up here in Traverse City.
Okay. So if someone was coming up there for a weekend, what's like one restaurant that you would say you have to check it out?
Well, I really like...
Could be with wine.
I like the Parlor.
Okay.
If you've never been there, it's like a little a speakeasy kind of feel to it. I think they have the best pizza in Traverse City. It's
really? Okay.
And Russ, really interesting combinations. And they have usually a live acoustic act that is not too overwhelming, not too loud, but it's like a really good place to go and hang out. That's where I hang out. Other places would be like North Peak. The Bubba's would be another one I would go to. There's so many different choices. And a lot of my choices revolve around having a 6, 10, and 11-year-old with me. So
sure,
you have a good
important
kids menu. So Bubba's and North Peak have excellent kids menus. And that's
mac and cheese and chicken nuggets.
Yeah, the grilled cheese, and then they have excellent food for the adults, and they have a real good wine menu, and that's a real good night for me. I'm usually hanging out with the kids, which is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, taking my kids out, it's guaranteed that they're going to get macaroni and cheese pretty much wherever we go. So, kids menus are super important to me too. So that's cool. So what about some of the shops? Like, what are some of the unique places to spend your money or buy art or something in the Traverse City area?
Well, downtown, you can walk around and find everything from hats to art to for the hobby enthusiasts. There's a hobby shop downtown. There's a lot of toy shops. There's a really good ice cream shop, Milk and Honey. When you're done shopping, there's just so much to offer. And a lot of the shops it's not as much of a tourist trap as like a lot of the other northern towns, and I'm not naming any of them, but you
Sure.
have real interesting proprietors that operate these shops. You're going to meet the owners most times.
Okay.
If you have questions about things, they're going to help you. It's a great shopping area downtown. You can get really unique things that you probably won't find anywhere else in Michigan. So, I mean, it really depends what you're looking for. But the downtown shopping area, and the best thing about it is you can walk to most of these shops. You park downtown, you just walk around and pretty much find whatever you want. From
Okay.
fancy coats and jackets, hats, shirts, maybe a hoodie if it's a little chilly. But you can
Yeah.
find just about everything you want.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I was going to come to Traverse City once all year, what's a one time or one thing that I should make it up to Traverse City for?
Well, my favorite time of the year is really the last weekend in June. It's one of my favorite times, but I have a lot of different favorite times. But the last weekend in June or first weekend in July is that kickoff to Cherry Fest. And
Sure.
it's also the air show weekend. So you can check out the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds, depending on who's in town that year. And they fly right over the Bryant Park, the beach there. And you can see them downtown. You can see them from the peninsula. Unlike a lot of air shows, it's not you go to the airport and that's the air show. The air show is the whole city. It's the whole town. So
Okay.
the Thursday and Friday are the practice days. So you might see the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds flying around. And then that Saturday and Sunday are the actual air show. So that is a real good weekend, especially if you got kids. Kids are usually fascinated by planes flying around. And
who isn't?
it's a little busier.
Yeah.
But, Mike, for your viewers, a good resource for different events is quite simply traversity.com. That's our town's website. And they can see all the events that are going on. So that's a good weekend to be up here. Halloween's also a big weekend for us. Christmas. There's a lot of good times up here. It seems like any weekend's a good time to be in Traverse City, though.
Yeah. The way you're selling it, for sure. So how long, you said you've been in there, Traverse City for 5 years, driving for Magic Bus. How do you get started with that?
Well, when I moved here, I had a CDL license, and some of the vehicles we drive are bigger vehicles. So they were hiring, and I didn't know anything about the wine business. So I was a beginner. I was into beer when I moved here. So
Okay.
I got really immersed in the wine business, and now I'm just wine and cider enthusiast. And I'm a wine tour guide here for Magic Shuttle, and just loving the business. And that's how it all got started. I'm actually former law enforcement.
Okay.
So
That's interesting.
I was law enforcement in the Detroit area for 15 years. I was an academy and drill instructor while I was a police officer, and made the move up here 5 years ago.
Okay.
Definitely love Traverse City.
What are some of the other hobbies that you have, Mike, other than wine and driving bus? Like what are some of the other things that you do in your off time?
Well, right now I'm renovating a house. I love
All right.
working on stuff at the house, teaching the kids how to do stuff. We're into hunting a little bit. We're into biking and hiking. This is a great
Okay.
area for a lot of those things. So just whatever the kids are feeling like doing, that's pretty much what I'm doing on my off days. So
Okay.
they keep me pretty busy.
I
Also,
imagine.
they want to go and explore
Yeah.
every beach
So-
in the area as well. So
With all the water and beaches up there, how's the fishing up there in Traverse City?
fishing's excellent. They're pulling some big fish out of the bay. I haven't really done a lot of fishing yet.
Okay.
You hear on Facebook, you see some of these guys pulling out big salmon, big walleye. I guess the fishing in the bay is amazing.
Okay.
That's the only thing I'm really missing right now is a boat, but it's on my list.
I got it. So we've had a good conversation here. Is there anything that I missed? Any questions that you wish I would have asked you that I didn't?
No, I think that we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, it sounds like Traverse City is such a beautiful city, and with so much to offer, and the wine thing looks like a lot of fun too. I'm not a wine guy personally, but I'm intrigued. It does sound like a fun weekend.
Well, you know what? You might want to ask, like, so what do you do if you're not really a wine enthusiast and you're on one of the tours? That would be an excellent question. We could do that.
Well, what do we do? Is it cider, beer?
Well, there's whiskey, some gin, some vodka on my tour, some brandy. So a lot of the
really?
wineries are experimenting and dabbling with different types of liquor.
Okay.
So a lot of the guys show up on the tours and their wives are maybe pulling them along a little bit. And by the end of the tour, they're loving it because they've got a glass of whiskey, maybe a frosé, which is a frozen wine drink from a place called Bry's, the States. So that's very popular drink. So if you're not a wine enthusiast, believe it or not, though, Mike, a lot of people come on once in a while, not a big percentage, but sometimes people come on the tour just for the views.
So when you're taking somebody out on these bus tours, and are you doing like a tour guide style trip? Is there between the wineries? Like, what do you talk about?
Oh, I'm telling them about the different wineries that a little bit about each one.
Okay.
And I'm telling them my personal recommendations. And a
Okay.
lot of times, people come up here on vacation. They don't know what to do, what to get. They want to know what your recommendations are. They're almost like buying you. I do drive, but I'm more of a wine tour guide. So I don't generally leave my group from start to finish. So I'm hanging out with them on the bus, in the wineries. If they have any questions, I'm there. And before we reach every winery, I'm giving them what my recommendations are, what I'd be drinking, and a little bit of history of each winery.
I gotcha.
We talk about Hawthorne Vineyards and the history there. It's an old Chateau Chantal field. Same winemaker. They make excellent Gewürztraminer. The Oak Swa here is amazing. I'm a wine club member. People are intrigued. We hang out at Hawthorne for a little bit. We go down to Bowers. I tell them I'm a wine club member there. They make an excellent Pinot Secco, which is a bubbly Pinot Grigio, and it's an old horse farm turned vineyard. The tasting room is actually a horse stable. People love that history. They want to know that stuff. They don't want you just driving them around while you're checking your Facebook page.
Sure. Yeah.
They want to know what your recommendations are. And they also ask you what your restaurant recommendations are for later. They want to know. A lot of them don't know Traverse City that well.
Okay.
You're more of a guide than a driver.
That makes a lot of sense. So, how would someone get in touch with you or book a ride, specifically with you or with your company? How does that work?
Well, again, guests just go. It's easy. You just go to TripAdvisor, and you search Magic Shuttle Bus. You could search Magic Shuttle Bus on Google, and it pops right up. You go right to TripAdvisor, and you can do the public tour. If you have a bigger group, or if you need a different type of reservation, MagicShuttleBus.com is our website, and you can call the office from the website or send them an email with dates, number of people, how many people you have. And I can give you the number too. Let me give you the number because I got it in my phone. Let's see here. I got it saved as Magic Shuttle, but our number, Mike, is 231-492-6144.
Perfect.
People have questions. Best thing to do is go to MagicShuttleBus.com. If you have a question, send us an email.
Could somebody request you specifically? Does it work that way?
They could. If they have a private group or a group up here, they want me to personally shuttle them around. They just call the office and request me, and that's fine.
Perfect.
It's hard to request me on the public tours, but I'll be at the park every morning. So you just come find me and say, well, I want to go with Mike.
Sure. How many days a week do you say you're driving or
Monday
taking the
and
tour?
Tuesday, for your viewers, if they're trying to do some scheduling, Monday and Tuesdays, I'm typically off.
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm working.
Perfect.
And I usually try to take that first weekend off of each month to hang out with the kids.
Totally makes sense. Family's
Keep my
important.
sanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the groups get a little wild. Not so much the public tours, but some of the bachelorettes, bachelor parties, they get a little wild. So
It's time to let loose, right?
yeah. So
Be responsible. And it sounds like they're going to learn a lot and have a great time going out with you and your company and the Magic Shuttle Bus company and learning about Traverse City and the wineries. And I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me today. And I've learned a lot. So
it's my pleasure. Anytime, Mike. We're always here. Come on up for a tour.
awesome. Might do that. So appreciate you meeting with me today, Mike. And thanks for sharing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Small Talk Podcast with the Small Real Estate Team. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our earlier episodes.